Hey everyone, today I'm going to be going over Rocket Fuel's TaskaBella Handbag Ad Campaign Analysis. This is going to be presented by me, Kaden Smith. So let's jump right into it. What is there to see? First, we must ensure the data is applicable and not just random nonsense, of course. Second, ensure the campaign is profitable. Third, check how many views the ad campaign took for a consumer to purchase a product. Finally, we must look at the optimal viewing times of the ad campaign. Is the data random? For this, we're going to use the chi-square test to make sure it's not. Right over here, you can see we have the sum of unconverted and the sum of converted, and that is broken down in groups of the control and the treated group. Right below it, we have the expected values for these. When we take these numbers, we can plug it into the chi test in Excel and get a p-value. This is what we have right here, and a p-value above the significance level, here we have 0.05, could mean the data has a chance of being uncorrelated or random. However, the p-value shown is drastically lower than 0.05, leading to the conclusion the data is extremely likely not to be random. From the p-value observed, we can conclude the advertising campaign had a real impact and the results were not random. We can then grab the sum of the converted for both the control group and real data and divide them by the grand total of the converted and unconverted to get the percent of converted. As you can see, the lift of the ad was approximately 0.77, meaning the ad had approximately a 0.77 increase in the influence of the people who saw it compared to the PSAs. This means the ad did work and was a success by approximately 0.77%. Was it profitable? Or what was the ROI? As shown here, TaskaBella made a profit of around $42,500 by doing this ad campaign, with a cost of around $131,000, and this turned out to be roughly a 32% return on their investment, and I believe that's pretty significant. While looking at this data, I thought it would be smart to go over the cost of the control group. And by taking the control group and multiplying by the lift, we get the approximate amount of people that would have converted if they were not in the control group. We can multiply that by the revenue per conversion, and I feel like a common mistake here is multiplying that by the profit. However, TaskaBella already paid for the PSAs by running the study, so we would only multiply by the revenue, and there would be no cost as TaskaBella already paid for it. And we can see that TaskaBella could have made an extra $7,245 not having a control group. How many views did it take? Views to conversions. Right here, I have a chart highlighting the average amount of views per consumer to conversions. On the y-axis, we have the amount of times the consumer viewed the ad, and on the x-axis, we have the amount of handbags the consumer purchased. We can see the orange line represents the treated consumers, while the blue line represents the control group. From this, TaskaBella can infer the consumers who viewed the ad 120 to 160 times were most likely to purchase the handbag, with the highest conversion rate being on the low side of that spectrum, around 120 times. With this chart, TaskaBella can also see after 160 views, the consumer conversion rate actually declines. This could be due to oversaturation or a number of other factors. So, if TaskaBella is to launch a new campaign in the future, assuming the consumer response rate is the same, TaskaBella would want to aim for a minimum of 90 views and a maximum of 160 views to optimize their conversion rate. What was the best time to show the ad? Right here, I have a chart showing the average conversions by days of the week. Right down here, I have another chart highlighting average conversions by hour of the day. Looking at these two charts, starting with the first one, we can see TaskaBella have the highest average conversions on Mondays. And with the second chart, we can see TaskaBella saw the highest number of average conversions around 4 p.m. Note, optimal viewing times for conversions is between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Finally, what does this mean? For TaskaBella, we can conclude their handbag campaign with Rocket Fuel was successful. It was successful by around 32% on their investment, and we can also see that they made around $42,000 off of their campaign. We can also show the most optimal viewing conditions to get the most out of their next ad campaign, increasing revenue by a significant margin. Finally, we can also say for future campaigns, for a similar consumer base, it may be wise to lower the control group, as TaskaBella missed a potential 17% increase in profit.